If one day this finds its ways to you, I hope you're somewhere calm, maybe lying in bed, lights off, just listening to the world breathe. I hope you're not rushing anywhere, 'cause this isn't meant to be read quickly. This is something that asked to be felt, like a letter that never expected an answer, but still wanted to be written. I've been thinking a lot lately about love, not the kind that burns bright and vanish, but the kind that stays, the kind that knows your name in the quiet, that remembers your laugh even when you're gone. And I realized that before I can meet that kind of love again, I have to learn how to speak to it differently. I have to meet it with gentleness, not fear. I've been through enough endings to know that love doesn't always leave when people do. Sometimes it lingers in the small things, like a morning light that looks a bit like memory, or the way a song still feels like that moment. I used to think love was about holding on, trying harder, providing that I could endure the ache if it meant keeping someone close. But I've learned that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let go before you both start to drown. When you meet me, whenever that is, I need you to know that I'll probably be a little guarded. It's not that I don't want to love again. It's that I've learned how easy it is to lose yourself when you love someone too hard. There's a softness in me that's been bruised more than once, and I've spent a long time rebuilding it. I no longer want to hand my heart over to someone and hope they remember not to drop it. I want to stand next to someone who knows what it means to hold something fragile, not because they're afraid to break it, but they respect what it took to make it whole again. Sometimes I imagine what it might feel like the day I meet someone who doesn't ask me to shrink so they can feel big. Someone who doesn't mistake my calm for indifference or my quiet for distance. I used to think that I had to perform love to prove it through sacrifice, through patience that stretched too thin. And now I want something simpler. A connection that doesn't need to be rushed or justified, and it doesn't keep score. Just two people choosing each other again and again, without the need for drama or control. I still cry for things I've already forgiven. I don't fight it anymore. I think grief doesn't always leave, 'cause it isn't meant to. It stays to remind you of your capacity to care, to feel deeply, and to start again. I'm not ashamed of my sadness anymore. It's proof that I've lived, that I've dared to love even when I knew it could hurt. And to the one who might love me next, please understand that I don't expect you to heal the things that hurt me. I'm not waiting for someone to erase my past or fix the cracks in my story. I only hope that when I show you those broken places, you see the beauty in the effort it took to keep living. I've learned that strained isn't loud. Sometimes it looks like a woman who still believes in tenderness, even after life has tried to harden her. If I ever pull away, don't chase me with questions. Just stay near. I'll come back when I remember that safety can exist outside of solitude. If I ever seem too quiet, don't fill the silence. Just share it with me. That's what I long for. No need grand gestures or promises wrapped in forever, but presence, the simple act of being there. I used to think love meant intensity, that if it wasn't passionate and dramatic, it wasn't real. But what I want now feels different. I want steadiness, a relationship that feels like an exhale at the end of a long day. Someone that makes the world feel less sharp. I want laughter that finds me easily, warmth that lingers in the small hours, and conversations that don't need to be perfect to feel right. And I want a home that exists in a heartbeat, not a place. You know this, that I overthink. I replayed things in my mind long after they ended. I built stories out of moments, and sometimes I live inside them a little too long. Please don't mistake that for doubt. It's just the way I love deeply, completely, and messily. There's a part of me that still fears losing what I haven't even found yet. But I'm trying to trust that what's meant for me won't need to be chased. I've been practicing honesty with myself lately. Real honesty. The kind that doesn't always sound pretty. There are parts of me that are tired, yes, but they're still reaching toward the light. And there's a girl inside of me who still dreams about love that is gentle and patient, and it doesn't demand that she forget the past to deserve the future. If you ever hold me and I seem far away, don't take it personally. Sometimes the past comes back in flashes. I'm still learning that not everything familiar is danger. Give me time to remember that your hands are different and your heart beats with calm, not chaos. When I imagine you, I don't picture a face, I don't picture a voice. I imagine the energy, the kind that is quiet, grounding, and kind. And you know, the kind of presence that doesn't need to fill every silence, 'cause it already feels full just by existing. I imagine the two of us in some small, ordinary moment, like cooking dinner or sitting on the floor with music playing low, and it feels like peace. Not excitement, not butterflies, just peace. I don't need forever, and I don't even need promises. What I crave is truth, and it shows up in small and consistent ways. Like when you say, I'm here, but not through your words, but through the way that you reach for my hand when the world feels too loud. I want love that's brave enough to stay soft. Until we find each other, I'll keep learning how to be that kind of love for myself. And I'll forgive the versions of me who didn't know better. I'll keep reminding myself that love doesn't mean losing yourself in someone else's story. It means riding side by side. And when the time comes, when we finally meet in that quiet, ordinary way, I hope I'll be ready to recognize you, not by the sound of your voice or the way that you look, but the calm that fills the space between us. By the way, my heart will finally stop running. If you ever hear this, wherever you are, I hope that you're healing too. I hope that life is teaching you to be gentle, not perfect, and no need to be strong all the time, just gentle. Gentleness is what endures. It remains after all the storms have passed. Sometimes I imagine you already exist somewhere, brushing your teeth, getting ready for bed, not knowing there's a girl out here whispering a whole monologue into the night about you. I wonder if you can feel it somehow, that small talk in your chest, like someone's thinking of you and doesn't even know why. Maybe love works like that. A quiet frequency, just waiting for the right two people to tune in. So whenever you are, I hope you sleep well tonight. And I hope your heart feels a little lighter. And if one day you find this, if you recognize yourself in the space between my words, then I guess this was always for you. Good night, my someday, and thank you for finding me, even if it's just here for now. Sleep well, okay? I'll see you in the quiet places.